Most car buyers believe newer cars are safer, smarter, and cheaper to own in the long run. That assumption is exactly what gets them into trouble. In this video, I'll explain why smart buyers deliberately avoid new cars and show you the last generation of cars that are truly reliable, affordable, and easy to fix. We'll break down where modern cars went wrong, what changed behind the scenes, and finally reveal the so-called Rule of 5 that quietly saves owners thousands. Let's dive in. Reason number 1. The worst part of car ownership. New cars feel safe because nothing has gone wrong yet. No warning lights, no noises, no repairs. But that's exactly the trap. The most expensive phase of car ownership isn't when things start breaking. It's the years when you're bleeding money without realizing it. Loan payments, interest, higher insurance, rapid depreciation. All of that happens while the car is still perfect. By the time a new car actually needs repairs, you've already paid far more than the fixes ever cost. That's why experienced buyers skip this phase entirely. They don't pay to own potential. They buy cars that have already proven themselves, after the financial damage is done. And once you see that, avoiding new cars stops feeling risky and starts feeling obvious. Reason number 2. The quietest money you'll ever lose. Most people worry about repair bills. That's understandable. They're visible. Depreciation isn't. And that's why it's so dangerous. The moment a new car leaves the lot, its value starts collapsing. Thousands disappear in the first year alone, long before anything wears out or breaks. By year 5, many cars have lost nearly half their value. Not because they failed, but simply because time passed. Here's what smart buyers understand. Depreciation is front-loaded. Once a car reaches a certain age, that free fall slows dramatically. The value stabilizes, but the car still has years of life left. That's the window smart buyers wait for. They let someone else absorb the loss, then step in when the car finally starts making financial sense. And that leads directly to the next reason, why timing matters more than brand loyalty ever will. Reason number 3. The real luxury. Reliability isn't about never breaking. It's about knowing what will break, when, and how much it will cost. That's where newer cars fall apart. Every generation introduces new engines, new software, new systems, and with them, unknown failure points. When something goes wrong, nobody has a playbook yet. Repairs become guesswork, parts are scarce, and costs spiral. Older cars don't have that problem. Their weak points are already known. Every common failure has been documented, priced, and solved thousands of times. Mechanics know them. Parts suppliers know them. Even repair schedules follow predictable patterns. That's why smart buyers aren't chasing perfection. They're buying certainty. When ownership becomes predictable, stress drops, costs stabilize, and the car stops feeling like a gamble. And once predictability matters, another advantage becomes obvious. Fixing these cars is dramatically cheaper. Reason number 4. Parts are cheap, available, and proven. Once a car has been on the road for 10 or more years, something important happens. The entire repair ecosystem catches up. Every common failure point has an established fix, and parts are sitting on shelves instead of being special ordered or dealer locked. That's the opposite of how newer cars work. A simple repair can turn expensive fast because parts are proprietary, VIN-coded, or tied to software that requires dealer access. Even when the part itself is simple, programming alone can double the bill. Older cars avoid that trap. Alternators, starters, sensors, suspension components, they're mass-produced, competitively priced, and widely available. Aftermarket options exist, remanufactured parts are reliable, and mechanics already know which brands hold up. This changes the entire ownership equation. Repairs stop feeling catastrophic because costs are capped and predictable. Instead of fearing every warning light, you budget for maintenance like an adult, calmly, intentionally, and without surprises. And once repair costs stop being scary, the next question becomes obvious. Are newer cars actually safer anymore? If this breakdown is useful so far, hit like and subscribe. It helps more smart buyers find this before they make an expensive mistake. Now let's talk about safety. Reason number 5. Safety versus insurance. A lot of buyers justify new cars with one word: safety. It sounds reasonable. Newer must mean safer. But that assumption hasn't been true for a long time. By the early 2010s, core safety systems had already matured. Stability control, anti-lock brakes, front and side airbags, the features that actually reduce serious injuries, became standard across most vehicles. After that point, safety gains slowed, but repair costs exploded. Modern driver assist tech adds sensors, cameras, and radar to bumpers and windshields. In a minor accident, those parts don't just bend, they fail electronically. A low-speed fender bender that once meant a bumper cover can now trigger thousands in repairs and higher insurance premiums. Older cars sit on the right side of that curve. They deliver proven crash protection without fragile electronics driving up repair bills. Insurance companies know this too, which is why premiums often drop as cars age. At that point, you're just as protected, but far cheaper to insure and fix. Reason number 6, modern tech is a liability. Technology didn't ruin cars overnight, it crossed a line quietly. Early tech made cars easier to live with, better fuel injection, basic traction control, simple infotainment. But newer cars rely on layers of software to run systems that used to be mechanical. When those systems fail, the repair isn't just a part swap anymore. It's diagnostics, programming, calibration, and dealer access. A dead battery can now require registration. Brake jobs may need scan tools just to retract the parking brake. Even routine maintenance can trigger warning lights that won't clear without factory software. These aren't rare edge cases. They're built into how modern cars operate. Older cars sit on the safe side of that line. Their systems are understandable, serviceable, and independent. When something breaks, you fix it. You don't ask permission. That shift is why smart buyers avoid newer cars. It's not about hating technology. It's about avoiding complexity that exists solely to increase cost and control. Reason number 7, you don't really own new cars anymore. With older cars, ownership was simple. You bought the car, maintained it, and fixed it when something wore out. The relationship was mechanical and straightforward. Newer cars change that. Many systems are now locked behind software subscriptions and manufacturer-controlled access. Independent shops can be blocked from diagnostics. Parts may require coding. Some features stop working unless software is updated or fees are paid. Even basic repairs can depend on permissions you don't control. That turns ownership into something closer to a license than a possession. When a problem shows up, the solution isn't always in your hands. It's in a server, a dealership, or a terms of service agreement. Older cars avoid this entirely. Anyone with basic tools and knowledge can diagnose, repair, and maintain them. There's no account to log into and no update standing between you and a fix. For experienced buyers, that independence matters. Control over repairs means control over costs, timelines, and decisions. And that's something newer cars increasingly take away. Reason number 8, the reliability curve flips in your favor. Cars don't slowly get worse year after year, they fail in phases. Early on, problems are unpredictable, manufacturing defects, design flaws, systems that haven't proven themselves yet. That's the phase new car buyers live in, even if nothing feels wrong on the surface. But once a car has been on the road for a decade or more, something changes. Every major weakness has already shown itself. Engines that were going to fail early already did. Transmissions with design flaws revealed them long ago. What remains are the survivors, cars that have proven they can handle real-world use. At this point, reliability becomes more predictable, not less. Failures follow known patterns, maintenance schedules make sense, and costs stabilize. You're no longer guessing, you're managing. This is where smart buyers step in. Not at the beginning of the curve, and not at the end, but right after uncertainty fades and before age-related neglect sets in. And that leads directly to the final realization. There's a narrow window where everything finally lines up. Reason number 9, the last era of great cars. The shift didn't happen all at once. It happened quietly. Around the early to mid-2010s, cars crossed from being primarily mechanical machines into rolling software platforms. Engines became more complex. Systems became interconnected. Repairs started requiring passwords, calibrations, and manufacturer approval. Before that line, cars had reached a rare balance. They were modern enough to be safe, efficient, and comfortable, but simple enough to be understood, repaired, and owned outright. Technology still served the driver, not the billing department. After that point, complexity stopped adding durability and started adding cost. Reliability didn't improve. Repair bills did. Ownership became conditional. Fixing your own car became harder, then discouraged, then impossible. That's why experienced buyers gravitate toward a specific era. Not because it's old, but because it represents the last generation built before control, software, and cost overtook practicality. Once you recognize that line, the buying decision stops being confusing. It becomes obvious. Reason number 10, the sweet spot. When you put everything together, cost, predictability, repairability, safety, and control, the pattern becomes impossible to ignore. There's a narrow window where cars deliver the most value with the least risk. These cars are old enough to have proven themselves, but not so old that age-related neglect dominates ownership. Their major flaws are known, their parts are cheap and widely available, their systems are understandable, and their technology still serves the driver instead of locking them out. This is the last generation of cars built before software, subscriptions, and dealer dependency took over. Not primitive, not outdated, just honest. That's why experienced buyers target this window deliberately. They're not chasing features or status. They're buying leverage. They avoid depreciation, skip unnecessary complexity, and gain full control over ownership. Once you understand this sweet spot, buying new cars stops feeling aspirational and starts feeling inefficient. And that's the difference between buying emotionally and buying intelligently. The Rule of 5. Before we reveal the Rule of 5, if you know someone about to buy a car, send them this video before they sign anything. It could save them a lot of money. By now, the buying decision should be clear, but there's one final rule that determines whether this strategy actually works. Buying from the sweet spot doesn't eliminate maintenance, it rewards the right kind of it. And every experienced mechanic follows the same principle, even if they rarely say it out loud. Mechanics call it the Rule of 5. For every dollar you spend preventing a problem, you save about $5 in repairs later. A routine oil change prevents internal wear that only shows up after the damage is done. Fresh coolant protects pumps, seals, and gaskets long before failure appears. Replacing a worn belt on schedule avoids breakdowns that never give warning. The difference between cars that last 20 years and cars that get traded every 5 isn't luck or brand choice, it's discipline. Mechanics don't wait for symptoms. They eliminate problems before they exist. That's why their older cars run smoothly, idle quietly, and rarely surprise them. Not because they're indestructible, but because they're maintained with intent. If you ever want to know what actually works, don't look at ads or spec sheets. Look at a mechanic's driveway. You won't see the newest models or the flashiest tech. You'll see clean, well-kept cars from the last era before complexity took over. Cars that are paid off, cars with known histories, cars that still make sense to own. Not because mechanics can't afford better, but because they know better. They've seen what breaks, what lasts, and what turns ownership into a financial trap. They buy after depreciation, before complexity, and with full control over repairs. That's the mindset worth copying. The smartest car isn't the newest one on the lot. It's the one you can understand, maintain, and trust for the long haul.